Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, today's topic is the drugs that act on the central nervous system for the induction of state of general anesthesia. That is, we are going to study general anesthetics. What is general anesthesia? General anesthesia is a neurophysiologic state that is characterized by 5 different features. The first feature is analgesia, that is loss of pain. Amnesia, loss of memory. Then loss of consciousness. Inhibition of sensory and autonomic reflexes. And finally, the skeletal muscle relaxation. When all these states, 5 different states, are achieved, then the patient is said to be in the state of general anesthesia. When patient is given a general anesthetic, we can observe 4 different stages of anesthesia, and these signs and stages of anesthesia are known as Goodale's signs. What are these different 4 stages? The first stage is the stage of analgesia, that is the stage where the first sign appears, that is the loss of pain. Remember, there is not the loss of anesthesia from the start. The first sign that appears is the loss of pain. The patient is conscious, but he has analgesia as well as amnesia. And you can detect this stage by noticing that his sense of touch or the sensory sensations are positive and the sense of hearing is increased. The second stage is the stage of excitement. And in this stage, the patient is unconscious but he is excited. He may move his arms abruptly and in an irregular manner, and his respiration may become irregular. Vomiting, retching, and incontinence may also occur. Then comes the stage of proper anesthesia, and that is the third stage of surgical anesthesia. This stage can be detected by the presence of regular respiration, and the doctor can assess this stage by noticing that his ocular movements are lost and eye reflexes are lost, and the pupil size is fixed. On further prolonging the anesthetic action, the fourth and the last stage of medullary paralysis comes, and in this stage the depression of vasomotor as well as respiratory center in the medulla oblongata occurs. These are the different signs and the stages of anesthesia that we can observe only when we give an anesthetic that has slow onset of action, and these were initially detected by giving the patient the chloroform or ether, and then the doctors they observe these 4 stages of anesthesia. But with modern anesthetic agents and with modern practice of giving different combinations of drug, these stages can hardly be detected. Now, what is an ideal anesthetic? Although we have a number of anesthetic drugs which we are going to study in next slides, but we are actually lacking an ideal anesthetic. What is an ideal anesthetic? An ideal anesthetic is an agent which must have the following properties. That is, it should be able to induce anesthesia smoothly, and it should permit the rapid induction as well as the rapid recovery of the patient. It must possess a wide margin of safety, and it should be devoid of the side effects. No single anesthetic agent can fulfill this criteria. Therefore, in order to achieve these ideal features, we use combination of different drugs, and by using the different combinations, what we achieve is this balanced anesthesia. Then what are the different steps of proper anesthesia or the procedure for the induction of general anesthesia? The first step is the Pre-medication. Here we give some drugs before surgery. The second step is the induction and maintenance phase, and the third step of general anesthesia is the recovery of the patient. Pre-medication. The first step for the induction of proper general anesthesia. It is defined as the administration of the medications which are given preoperatively for sedation and analgesia. A number of drugs are given. The first group of drugs we use are the benzodiazepines. You have already studied benzodiazepines and you know that their basic function is to relieve the anxiety and to produce amnesia. The second group of drugs are the opioid analgesics. And as the name indicates, these are the analgesics, that is, they are used to produce loss of pain during the surgical procedures. Then some drugs are given to inhibit the parasympathetic nervous system. And basically these are the anticholinergic drugs which are given to decrease the secretions of the respiratory tract as well as gastrointestinal tract and to reduce the amount of secretions which are accumulated in the respiratory tract. Then antiemetics are given to reduce the induction of emesis after the procedure is over. And finally, antihistamines, especially H2 antagonists, they are given to reduce the volume as well as the acidity of the gastric contents. So when we apply all these steps for the induction of general anesthetic state, we call this as balanced anesthesia. Here I have quoted an example, that is, in pre-medication step, we can give a basal anesthetic like barbiturate and adding a narcotic analgesic like pethidine plus a vagal inhibitor like atropine. Then for the induction purpose, we give a short-acting barbiturate like thiopentol. For the maintenance, we give combination of both the inhalational as well as intravenous anesthetics plus intravenous analgesics. And finally, the skeletal muscle relaxation is achieved by giving a neuromuscular blocker. Now coming to the drugs, we classify the in general anesthetics into two groups. The first are the inhaled anesthetics and the second group is the intravenous anesthetics. Among the inhaled anesthetics, we have a gas which is nitrous oxide and the halogenated fluids, volatile fluids, which are halothane, enflurane, desflurane, sevoflurane, methoxyflurane, and isoflurane. Then, among the intravenous anesthetics, we use benzodiazepines, and among benzodiazepine, we can use different drugs like diazepam, and midazolam. Second group are the opioid analgesics, and we can use pethidine. The third group is barbiturates, and among the barbiturates, we can use thiopenton, methotrexatol, etc. And among the miscellaneous drugs, we have propofol, etomidate, and finally the ketamine, which comes as intravenous anesthetic.